Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have not been around for a while. Thank you to all of those who've contacted me asking how I am. That's really kind. There is no kind of revelation or anything. All that happened was things got busy again. So I work every day in the communications industry, creating live events, content, presentations, video. And obviously, for a long time, things were very, very quiet. And then things kicked off again in the UK and I got busy. So that's all that happened. Today, I want to make a video where I'm answering some of the questions that people have posted on one of my most popular videos. This one here, how to present on Zoom. So let's get started. I really appreciate when people comment, ask questions on any of my videos, and I'm pretty good at answering them. But I'm going to pick out some of the most popular questions that I've received on this video. And incidentally, I need to make an update on this video because personally, I think the quality bar has got way worse since everybody started presenting online, but that's another video. So first question. What camera and lighting package am I using? So I said at the start of the video, I work in the communications industry. I work pretty much weekly with a videographer, cameraman, editor who I've worked with for years, and I'm using his equipment. He's filming the majority of my videos. In fact, any of the videos that look really good and the lighting's really good, he did them. Any of the ones that look a bit shit, I did them. So the camera equipment is professional equipment, and I very much know when it comes to cameras, it really does depend what brand you are used to using. So yeah, if you want to know more details, then contact me direct, but it's professional kit. Next question. What type of microphone setup did you use for this video? Again, professional equipment is what I use, and sound is so important, and it irks me because there are a couple of videos that I did myself where the sound is pretty crap. Sound is so important. So on the majority of my videos, you'll notice that I use a lapel microphone, and that's where I've got a battery pack on my back, a wire going up through my clothes, and the microphone positioned conveniently on the top that I'm wearing. But today I have a high neck on, and that makes placing a lapel microphone pretty difficult. So today we are using a shotgun mic. Some people refer to them as fluffy mics. It's that thing that kind of looks like a big fat squirrel's tail, basically. And that is directed towards my face. It's very much a directional microphone. That's what's in front of me. That's what we're using. And it's worth saying with a lapel microphone, the reason why they're great is if you move around as a presenter, they're positioned on you, so they're always going to pick up your voice and the sound. A directional microphone will only pick up the sound that it's directed towards. So it's working now because it's directed towards my mouth. But if I talk away, as you can hear, it doesn't sound so good. Next question. One challenge that I'm having is finding a desk or a stand high enough for my laptop camera to be at eye level when I'm standing and presenting. People struggle with this, how to get the eye line right. What you're always after is you want your eyes to be pretty much in direct line with the camera lens, whether that's a professional camera lens that I'm looking at or the lens of your laptop. Now, what I tend to do if I'm standing up, let's say in my kitchen, and I'm presenting online, is I use Amazon boxes and books to get it to the right level. But honestly, if you're somebody who's presenting online all the time, I would recommend getting in touch with an agency, actually. So a production agency, they will have loads of ideas when it comes to equipment that they use and are currently using, because so much stuff is online. Get some ideas from them, purchase something from them if it is something that you're doing pretty much every day. But remember, the higher you put your laptop, the further it has to fall. So just make sure that it's secure. So this is a kind of question and comment that I get quite a lot on this video, and it's basically saying, this is really helpful, but my presentation is going to be on Microsoft Teams. All the tips that I talk about in this video relate to Microsoft Teams as well. People often ask me what is better. In all honesty, if you are doing anything with regards to an event, Zoom is better currently than Teams. Teams is used a lot more within internal structures, businesses, because it's a great way for people to have meetings. But personally, if I was ever doing an event, it would always be Zoom. Another popular question and comment: I feel shy and less confident when giving my presentation. How do I overcome this? Well, this video here will hopefully help with that. I do try and do lots of tips and tricks for overcoming nerves, but in all honesty, it's not rocket science. The only thing that really helps is to feel good about what you're doing, and to feel good about what you're doing, you need to practice it. That's it. Can you please share vocabulary on what to say at the beginning and the end of an online presentation? What sentences to use? Okay. There are many ways that you can start and end a presentation, but the most important thing is that you are clear. So many presentations start. No one knows if it's the start, the middle, or whatever. There's fumbling around, and then all of a sudden somebody starts talking. And from an audience's point of view, you're like, oh, okay, it started. So be really, really clear. Give the audience time to log on, and when you are ready, as the presenter, you are in charge, you start. And be very clear when you are starting. You can simply say, okay, I'm gonna get started now. Okay, let's get started. Right, time to start. But you want to give a very clear indication that you are about to get going with your presentation. And the same when it comes to the end. Really clear. Now, it sounds a bit pedantic, but when you're online, you have to remember, for one thing, everybody's got a lot of distractions who are watching from home. Sound might be an issue for them. You don't know how they're watching it. It's really easy for people to switch off. So just be really clear at the start and at the end. And actually the perfect way to end is to always thank your audience for being there and thank them for listening. I get this question a lot, and I'm going to have to interpret what people mean by it, but it's about PowerPoint, and people are basically saying, but how do you do this with PowerPoint? And what I think people are meaning by that is, how do you take these tips that I'm talking about, how do you deliver a better online presentation when you have PowerPoint? So unfortunately, when you are presenting online on your own, then you are not only the presenter, but you are the production technical manager as well. So if you're using PowerPoint, it's even more important that you practice using it. So practice whether you're going to be using a clicker to advance your slides, or whether you're going to be advancing them yourself, and also how you're going to bring them up to screen, because there are a few buttons that you need to press in order to make that happen. What I would say is, if you're doing any presentation where you're pitching to a customer, for instance, or there are high stakes, basically, the presentation is being watched by people who are important to you or your business, invest the money and get a professional to help you. There are loads of people at the moment, and if you want any recommendations, then I can give them to you. But there are loads of people out there at the moment who are highly skilled, who can help you to deliver great presentations. So when you are talking, your graphics are positioned beautifully beside you. I've had a lot of questions on this video about the lighting. In all honesty, yes, we were using professional equipment, but we were really lucky on the day that we filmed this. So what you can't see is that in front of me are a wall of windows, and the light was just perfect. Wherever possible, we do like to use natural lighting, but yeah, we lucked out on this day. Sometimes the lighting can be a massive pain. There are other videos of mine where the lighting is dipping in and out, where I'm standing once again in front of the same windows, because if it is a sunny day and there are clouds, It's tricky because sometimes the light will be perfect, then the clouds come and it looks dark. I'm not going to go into in depth with it, but basically we lucked out. The light was perfect this day. I host classes that are a combination of live and Zoom. I'm desperate for tips on how to connect with both audiences at the same time. Help. Yeah, help indeed, because that is really, really hard. My personal opinion is you have to pick an audience. Who's more important? Is it the online audience or is it the audience in the room? Because it is practically impossible to cater to both. So you need to decide, is it the online audience or is it the audience in the room who are more important, and you present to them. So if it's the audience in the room, you're looking at them, and if I'm watching online, I'm very much aware that I'm watching you present to people in the room. If it's the audience online that are most important, then again, the audience in the room are aware of that, and you're looking down the camera lens presenting to the online audience. It's really tricky. Where do I purchase the black screen? Is it actual fabric or something you've created with the computer? It's just black fabric, but it is quite thick, because what you want to make sure is if you do have lights in front of you that it doesn't make it see-through. So it's pretty thick black material. I'm thinking about what to wear for my next presentation, which is for an academic conference. These days, most colleagues and professionals look really casual. I agree with you, and I like to show that the conference and presentation are important. I'm wondering if it's a good idea to show up differently. Any thoughts? So this is a really good question, and it's a question that any professional that I've ever worked with will always ask me first. What should I wear? And the honest answer, in my opinion, is you always want to mirror the audience. So for example, if you are presenting to a group of bankers, you don't want to turn up in your tracksuit. That said, if you are presenting to children, you probably don't want to wear a three-piece suit. So mirror the audience, but if ever you're unsure, always dress that little bit smarter and in a way that feels good to you. You never want to be stood in front of any audience, whether they're online or on stage, not feeling comfortable. So dress in a way that feels good to you. We love your video. Can you send me a version that doesn't include the word I know I swear a lot, but no, basically I can't do that. Do we need to show our whole body? No, absolutely not. And one of the main reasons is it would just look really, really weird online, because your camera would have to be so far away from you so they could get the full length of you. So no, I wouldn't recommend showing your whole body online. And I think that kind of sums it up. There's lots of other questions, but they're pretty much the same thing. So I think I've covered most of them there. That said, if you do have any other questions about that video or any questions about what I've said in this video, please do let me know in the comments below. As I said, I'm pretty good at answering questions, and every month I will be doing again a live Q&A where I'll pick out some of the popular questions that I've been asked on the channel and answering them live. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to this channel, and I will hopefully be back next week.